name's Terry and welcome to Flavors in the Heart. Today we're going to cook one of my favorite recipes, which is crispy chicken thighs. I love this recipe because it has a lot of depth when it comes to the flavors, and the chicken thigh is an inexpensive part of the chicken. Some people think that it's the undesirable part, but after today and we make that recipe, you're going to change your mind if that's what you think. I got 8 chicken thighs for $3.17 today, so that's it. So let's get cooking. So for this recipe we're going to need 3 pounds of chicken thighs, which is roughly around 6 to 8 depending on the size, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Now if you don't have Italian seasoning, this is what it's made up of, is basil, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. So just kind of, do it accordingly. A teaspoon of black pepper, and then 2 teaspoons of paprika. And then I just got done adding, probably about a couple months ago, I added a teaspoon of cumin. And it really gave a more homey flavor to it. So I was actually pleased with that. I've been trying to look into my spices and figure out what we could do to rearrange it, and so but yeah, so we're going to preheat our oven for 400 degrees. Alright, so we're going to get started here, and so what I've already done is I've rinsed off my chicken, patted it dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the bowl and put some olive oil in there. So let's get this done. So the main ingredient of this dish is paprika, and paprika comes from a dried fruit of the plant capsicum. It comes from Mexico, believe it or not. A lot of people had come up with other countries other than Mexico. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and put our 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. And I like to just get in there and mix it up. And what you're doing is the olive oil is just to coat the chicken so that it grabs onto the spices. So let's do that. And then, let me rinse my hands off here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mix up our spices. As you've seen, I put them all in like a bowl. And I find taking the spices and, and either separating them in, what order I'm going to put them in, or if I'm doing them all at the same time, I just put them into one bowl and then combine them with a fork. So let's do that. So we're just going to go in here and we're just going to stir them up. Another thing I was going to mention was, again, I talk about the place where I get my spices, which is Pinzie's. And I can't say enough. I was just in there last week. I'm going to go in tomorrow. They've got another special, I think it's cocoa this week, that you spend $5 and you get 2 things of cocoa. So the holiday season is coming up, and that's what I'm going to be cooking with. So, and when you go in there, you can smell the spices, you can ask them questions, you can read about them. And I mean, it's just for me, it's just such an enjoyment because I get to explore. They're not expensive. I think last week I came out there spending $11 and I came home with 5 or 6 different spices. So, but they're all natural, no preservatives, so you do need to use them within a timely manner. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of this, I'm going to put it in there, and then take the other half after I put them on the rack, and then sprinkle it on top. All right, so let's just sprinkle half of this on there. And if you do a little more, it's not so bad. And then what you want to do is just get in there and you're going to mix these up. And the coating, believe it or not, will spread around. And then what you can do is you can get under the skin and so that it gets it all the way in there. But yeah, I just absolutely love this recipe. It just does so much. And again, like I said, I've cooked for 50 people with this, and it's turned out. So, all right. So this looks good. And again, we're just wanting to get some, some coat on there because we want to, we're going to coat it when we get it on the pan. So. And if you're wondering, if you hear pitter patter, you're going to hear, oh, he just left. Cooper, come here. If you hear the pitter patter, that is Cooper. Say hi, Cooper. Hi, baby boy. He is my helper. Sometimes. All right, so now what I want to do is, your best bet, if you have a rack, if you don't, I would tell you to invest in one. One of the great things about this is that it actually helps the chicken crisp. So what it does is it sets it above, and then there's some grease in there, and it just drains it to the bottom. So we're going to put these on here the way that we want them to cook, make them look nice and pretty. I trimmed the chicken already and made it look like I want it to look. Always remember when you're dealing with chicken, you want to wash your hands frequently. You don't want to be serving any bacteria. I missed a spot here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck it under. I'm not perfect, and then I won't notice it. And the same thing here. Wow, I just was not paying attention. Okay, so let's readjust these. Alright, so let's go ahead and wash our hands. Again, that's the oven telling me that it is ready to get this chicken in there. And again, we're going to cook it for about Again, we're going to cook it for about 35 to 45 minutes. This is where your temperature comes in, and you can check the temperature of the meat. The meat should be 165 degrees. If you take it out at 160, it will continue to cook, and then by the time you serve it, it will have that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to sprinkle this on there. You're going to be so happy when you make this recipe for the first time. I've had friends that I've given it to, and they've absolutely loved it. And it's a staple for them. So go back over, miss some spots, get the spots I haven't gotten. And the other thing is that the skin will crisp, and so for people that don't like the skin, they can just pull it off. Alright, I didn't use all of it, unfortunately, but here it is. Turned out real nicely. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick it in the oven right now. Okay, and I like to stick it in the middle of the rack, actually. And then in the middle of the oven, so it gets an even cook. All right, so we're looking at 35 minutes, and I can't see me. There we go. So we're looking at 35 minutes. I'll check the temperature and see where I'm at, and then after that we'll decide if we're going to go in for another 10 minutes or we're going to pull them out. All right, come on back. All right, here we are. We're back at our 25 minutes, so I can hear it sizzling in there, so I'm going to open it up. We're going to check the temperature out to see how close it is to the 165 degrees. And we'll just pick the big fat one here in the front. So let's just poke it and see where we are here. Oh, we're climbing very fast. So I'll check like a front one, and then I'll do a back one as well. Yeah, this one's already popped up to 165, so let's go to a back one here and check that out and see. Yep. Wow. So these are done. So let's go ahead and pull them out. Let's turn this off, cancel. I found this great little mitt. It's just a mini mitt, but I love it because it's not all cumbersome, and I can just stick my hand in there and then pull it out, and so it's a great little find. All right, so we're gonna let these sit and cool for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna plate them up and put some green on them, make them look beautiful, and then serve them up. Come on back. All right, well, here we are. We're back, and so I'm going to try my crispy chicken. So I picked the biggest one out. The other thing, look at the juice that's in this. I mean, it's still very juicy. Pair this with some nice steamed vegetables and some rice, and this is a perfect meal. Again, $3.17 is what I paid for the 8 thighs at the supermarket. So I want to thank you for coming in and watching, and again, leave your comments, leave your pictures when you make them. I really appreciate it, and let's get cooking.